Hello everybody and welcome to my updated version about the Nestable Tabs-Element in Bricks Builder. I have changed the complete source code from jQuery to vanilla JavaScript to make it compatible with Bricks 1.4, which should also lead to better performance in terms of page loading and all those stuff. And I've also adapted the code to make it compatible with the smaller DOM size output of Bricks 1.4. So you shouldn't face any problems with Bricks 1.4 when it's finally released. I have also remaked or recreated the website, which is now a bit more visually clear what's in there. I have also separated that stuff in tutorials and snippets. Snippets will be about some enhancements, so how you could tweak those certain elements, and it will also be about some short snippets which could be helpful and don't relate to any tutorial. If they relate to any tutorial, as you can see here, they will be shown up and marked as relation to that tutorial. If you click here, there will also be an information to which tutorial they belong to. So you kind of always have that information if there is a short snippet available which helps you tweak or enhance that tutorial. But for the very basic tutorial, or for all elements I provide here in those tutorials, I have created a child theme which you can download here from GitHub. Just hit that code button and press download zip. You can install that like you would install a normal theme. You should have installed Bricks, of course, but you can install that as a child theme, and it helps you to make it easier to load all those elements. So what it does is it basically adds nothing to your website, but it makes all those source code available, which I refer to in the tutorial. So you don't need to care about how you could include all those coding stuff in Bricks. That's all handled by the theme. You could, of course, just copy and paste that source code as it was before, but I thought for those of you who aren't very familiar with code and coding, it's probably easier to just copy and paste a few lines of code than to handle all that source code. And yeah, that's the reason why I did that. So feel free to download it. I will update them regularly, so you could just download the new version and upload it. WordPress can handle that. And yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna show you what I've changed here and how to set it up. I just create here a new page. So let's call it tabs. Hit publish and hit edit with Bricks. Yeah, what you need to do is giving that tab a wrapper element. So that's for multiple tabs elements. You will need that if you want to have 2 or 3 different tabs elements. That wrapper kind of acts as a wrapper for each element, and yeah, it's responsible for kind of different them from the other elements. So inside that tab wrapper you can add 2 more wrappers. One is for the links and one is for the content. So I'm gonna call that links wrapper and I'm gonna call that content wrapper. So what you can do is just adding here another container, or you could also just add some text, and let's say that's link number 1, link number 2, and so on and so forth. Probably if you want to have a more complex layout, you will need to add here containers, or let's add a container because it's a more real life example, I would say. So let's add here 3 containers, and inside that container You probably want to have an icon and a text because it's more fancy that way. So let's align that here, and I don't know, you could add here anything you would like to. Let's just call this link 1, and I'm gonna delete them because it's easier to just duplicate it. So we have now our 3 links available. You could also make them here horizontal or whatever you would like to, so that doesn't really matter. You would also need to have, so just gonna quick reload the page because of that behavior here. You would also want to have the same amount of content wrappers as you have with that links. For that, I'm just placing here some kind of content so you can see what's going on. And here, let's add an icon box. So yeah, that's it. That's for the bricks part. You would need to assign an ID for that wrapper, which is in my case just my tabs element. You can choose whatever you would like to here. For those tab links and for the content part, you would need to assign a class here, which is for the links wcd underscore tab underscore link. You can find all those classes and informations here in the documentation. So here it says wcd tab link and wcd tab content, which is basically just a step-by-step guide. It's basically the same I just show you. So yeah, let's assign that class here to every link. And for the content, as I said here, it's wcd underscore tab underscore content. So let's assign that here too, and copy it to all the other wrapper elements. You probably want to style the active state within bricks, and for that you need to assign here with the global class, I already have it here, the class of wcd underscore tab underscore link underscore active. You should keep that class on any element here. It doesn't matter on which element because it gets overridden on page load anyway. But to force bricks to load that styles of the styles of that class, you should have it active on at least one element, because otherwise all those styles would vanish and disappear. Yeah, you can style that, maybe just, yeah, I don't know, you can style that to whatever you would like to. I'm gonna leave it here yellow. And yeah, that's pretty much everything about the tabs element. What you need to do now is place a code element anywhere on the side. That's also the cool thing about the child theme, because you don't have to worry about where you have to place that code element. It gets applied automatically to the footer, so you don't need to worry about anything. Yeah, here it says paste that code below in the code block. Just copy it and paste it here in that code block. That line here is responsible for that child theme stuff. So it just basically loads the right file you need for the tabs element. So as I said, the child theme doesn't load anything by default. You will need to have that line of code to load the files or to really enqueue them. The second one is the add action WP footer hook, which is responsible for initialize the tabs element. There are some options you can pass here, which is the target, which is the outer wrapper here. So, which I gave an ID of my tabs element. So you have to pass that ID here in the target. And there is also an option for the default open index. So if you want to have another one opened on page load, you have to change that index here. Let's hit execute code. hit save and view on front end, and hopefully it will work. Yeah, as you can see, so now we can toggle between our tabs. For that tutorial, there is kind of an enhancement available, because I was asked in the Facebook group if it's possible to open that, to have a different opened index on page load. So you can have a look at that. It's pretty easy to set up. So then you can target that tab element from different pages and can show up different content depending on where your visitor comes from, for example. Yeah, nothing more to say here about that. I hope you like it. If you are facing any issues or have any questions, just let me know, and yeah, enjoy building it.